Hi guys, in today's review will be on this all new tooled Hornby model. This all new tooled Hornby model is the one I've been looking forward to the most at the Allen Coronation set. And that is the unusual style of it, which is the Observer Coach. And this is number 1719. It is part of the one-on-one collection. It is era free. It can do second radius. The product code you need is R40227. Like I said, it's the Allen Observer Coach number 1719 era free, which means it's grouping. And as you tell, this looks rather Art Deco style. To me, it looks interesting. I was very impressed with the articulated Allen coaches that Hornby released. So let's get into review and see if these are as good as them coaches. So here goes. So before we get into the details that the coach actually has, it does come with an instruction or a leaflet and a detail bag. Again, if you've seen my review on the articulated set of these Allen coaches that I have, you will know what's in it. It's basically the same. So let's start with the detail bag. So you get a vac pipe A, a vac pipe B. You also get a solid Buckeye coupler, a tension lock coupler, and you also get a front end coupler bar for the Observer Coach only, which this is the one we're looking at. Again, these are all painted correct to the style it should be. As we move on to the leaflet, again, it's on paper, it's only two sides. It tells you what you're looking at, which is coaches. It tells you what accessories you get. But at the top, again, it tells you some information about the lettering. The lettering has foil lined lettering, I believe that's what you call it. Just tell you be careful how to touch it. So I touch it from the base of the wagons or the coach, and that's how it gets around that issue. Then you have some configurations of where your detail goes. At the bottom, we have our spare parts details. And to ring Hornby or email Hornby, etc, etc. And then moving it over onto the second sheet, it basically tells you how to connect the two ends of the coach, which doesn't really apply for this coach, but it's in there anyway. It tells you what sort of ends you can have and what sort of covers and connectors. Streamlined or corridor version, even for the Observer Coach, streamlined corridor connection. And then it's some more detail about connecting the coaches and what ends to have for your preference, I guess. That's basically it. Again, we do not get a leaflet on how to take the body off the coaches. I went for a few inside the model shop and none of them had that leaflet. So as we now move on to one of the ends of the coach, and we're going to start with the end of the coach, that makes sense, the one that bows downwards with the windows. So in the detail bag, there is the coupler in there if you want to change it out to have a NEM pocket coupler here. It shows you how to do it in the instructions. We do have metal sprung buffers, which Coach does, but the other articulated ones that have are not sprung. That is metal, I believe. We also have a metal, what I call it, valances over the buffers, and we also have a hook and some chain links there moulded on. I think the chain links do actually move. As we move on up a little bit more, we have two lots of lights. These only work going forwards or backwards depending on the way, and they glow red. There's no white ones, it's just red only. I'm not sure if these are removable like they are on the Black 5. Again, if you look closely enough, you can see some of this foil lining around the edge, and then we have the garter blue, and above that we also have the word Coronation. We have some more foil lining around the trim of the windows, and these are split in the windows, which is correct. Again, the glazing is done wonderful, and if you look closely enough inside, you can see they have painted the seats, which is fantastic, and the seats are in positions to look out of the window. We have some more foil lining at the top with a silver roof. Now as we move on to the side of this Observer Coach, both sides of the Observer Coach are exactly the same. To me, I couldn't find any differences. So let's start with the livery. The livery of this coach, or the whole Coronation Coach by Hornby and Allen, is Melba blue and garter blue. The garter blue is at the bottom, the Melba one is at the top. We do have some fine glazing going on here. We also have some seats inside. If you look closely enough, there's some more seats inside, which is fantastic. Speaking of the seats inside, these coaches are lit on DCC ready and DCC fitted. Hopefully now there should be a video coming up of how long they actually stay on. As we move along to, I think that's where the kitchen area is, or the bar area. We do have the windows whited out. I think there could even be a toilet in there as well. I can't manage to get the shell off, like I said before, to have a look inside, so I am sorry if I can't do that. We also have a number 3, which I think is a third class compartment. We have coronation written along the side. We also have the running number of the coach. And this one is 1719. And all the metalwork on here, you see, is foil lined. As we move on down, this being a streamlined coach, we have, I think, Gresley bogies with metal wheels. We also have some casing over the electrical equipment boxes, stuff like that, but they have been moulded into the side so you know where to look. Most of the detail for the underneath is actually underneath when we see in a minute. On to the corridor end of this coach. We do have the NEM pocket already applied with a NEM coupling already in there. We don't have sprung buffers, but I think they are metal. I think there is also a hook under there as well, or buckeye. We have the corridor connection. We have the door insert with a little handle. There's a few bits of Moldon piping, but most of it's in black. Like I said, if you want to change that, you can in the detail bag. Like I said, there isn't really much to look at this corridor connection here. And now I have to do an air review on top of this coach. As you can tell, the top of the coach is unusual because it slants down to the end where people will look out. And again, I've described that with all the lining it has and the special windows, but it just looks unusual from this angle. You can see some more of that foil lining dotted around on this coach. We have two vents, which I think are for the cooking area and probably just let cooler air through. Most of the roof is in battleship grey, a grey anyway, and there's some more foil lining near the corridor connection as well. And finally, as we do an underneath look at the coach, both of the NEM couplers either end, so if you added the one the observer end, they are both kinematic, they come back to the centre. We have metal wheels, which I believe pick up the lighting. On each bogie set, there's two screws to take off, which is either to the pickups or is to help to get the shell off. Like I said, I don't have the instructions to get the shell off. In the model shop, we thought you took off these two screws, then there's 4 more screws to take off the shell. But again, like I said, there's no instructions, so I'm just guessing. We have the brake rigging already applied to the wheel set. And like I said before, the valances that hide all the gubbins, in there we've got some bracing, some electrical boxes, I think it's a generator as well, a cylinder, I think there's a Hornby sign in there as well. There's a few other delicate bits under there. And at one end you can see the buffers that are sprung, and you can also see the lighting as well. I am sorry that I can't get the body off to have a look inside, but at least it's all painted and you can see it from some of my photos. So yeah guys, that's it on the tracks. Next up will be the coupling test and enjoy the running session, so here goes. Nice and smooth, I think it's got it as well. It has. Doesn't that look wonderful? Enjoy the running session guys, I'll see you at the end. So yeah guys, that's the end of the review and the running session. I'll tell you what was pulling the train before I give my opinion and price, which was the Hornby Align-ER B17/5. It's a streamlined, and I think I went for East Anglia, if I've got my facts correct. And it was pulling this small consist of these 3 Align-ER coronation coaches. So let's talk about price of the coach. The price I paid for my coach was £68 from Topps Trains. That was a pre-order guarantee price. That was very kind of them to honour that price. And I am blown away with the detail for the price you get. The detail is fantastic. If you get this direct from Hornby, currently it's around the £82 mark for this single coach. Again, that isn't too bad either. Some may say it's a little high, but compared to some other manufacturers, it's not too bad. And if you get this from a model shop, give or take, the model shop is anywhere between £68 to £75. Give or take the model shop. Some model shops could be a little bit higher than Hornby, but yeah. Again, these are not bad prices. So let's talk about the opinion of the coach. Hornby have gone to a lot of trouble with the coach. Well, with the set in general, they've gone to a lot of trouble with the interior, with the pickup scenario, with how fantastic they look. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of these coaches. I like to have them individually. That's why my main concern was the Observer coach, because that was a single one. There's two gripes, really. One is no instructions for how to get into the coach on any of them, really. That's a little bit disappointing. If you want to put figures in or you want to just have a better look at the interior, you can't. Like I said, I'm unsure if what we discussed in the model shop is correct. Like I said, there's no instructions. And the second one is not really a criticism from me, but maybe to some people, is the gap between the two coaches you see there. There's a tiny little bit of a gap, but in both detail bags there is some ends of the coaches to remedy this issue if you really wanted to, but some may moan the gap is a little bit too big. If you're using KDs, it may make it look a lot smaller. I have had no issues with the coaches, that they're reasonably priced, like I said, compared to other manufacturers, and they are newly tooled. I've heard rumours that the lights do come across a little bright, and I'm not sure if you can pull off the end lamps or not. But again, at least they work and they're not just there for the hell of it. They work, it's good. Hornby have truly hit it out of the park with the LNR Coronation coaches, in my opinion. These may be some of Hornby's best coaches. The Observer coach is definitely one of Hornby's top coach they have ever made, in my opinion. I have a few from Hornby. These will appeal to, at the start, mainly the LNER people, but hopefully in the near future, Hornby will announce they are doing the Beaver Tail, which is the end coach, in the BR livery. I think it's a maroon BR livery, and it's slightly different. I'm hoping Hornby do that, because that will appeal to more people, especially on preserved railway lines. So this was my take on the new tooled LNER Hornby Coronation Observer coach, or card, depending on your preference. I hope you find this review useful. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So please take care and goodbye.